In this video, we're going to count down the 4 most common problems people may experience while using their Medtronic O-Arm. Number 4, your O-Arm won't drive.
So you're driving your O1 or your O2 O-Arm system, and suddenly it stops moving because the motion battery's dead. Either because they're old and they aged out, or because they just haven't been charged in a while. What do? You have a 2,000-pound system stuck in the hallway. O1 and O2 O-Arm systems both have a drive release lever that can be activated, in which case it takes the power drive system out of the loop and you can manually push the system around to get it where you need to get it to go. On an O2, this system can be found near the base behind the big wheel. It'll be sticking out from this side or the other. You just kick it and it will pop out, engaging the drive release. Once that happens, the system can now be moved manually. It's 2,000 pounds, so I recommend grabbing a friend.
Number 3, your e-stop is activated and you can't reset it.
A common problem on O-Arm systems is the e-stop gets triggered and you can't reset it. Why is that? 99% of the time, the problem is the external pendant jumper, and I can show you how to fix that. If you come down here, you have a pendant jumper, and as you can see, it was barely plugged in. It had come loose. This port is for connecting an external pendant. It's very rarely used, and when it's not used, this jumper has to be plugged in securely in order for the e-stop circuit to function the way it's supposed to. Simply plug it in, secure it with the set screws. On an O1, you'll go to the base of the unit to find this. Back up here, we should now be able to reset the e-stop and carry on.
Number 2, your hand switch has stopped working.
A common problem we get calls about with O1 and O2 O-Arm systems is you're in the middle of a case, you go to take an X-ray image using your hand switch, you push the button and nothing happens. What do? Well, first of all, you're probably going to need to replace your hand switch. You can call Block Imaging and we can ship you a new one right away. But in the meantime, you still need to take that X-ray, and this little tip can help you get through the case without any further incident. These systems all come equipped with foot switches that don't often get used, and you may not even realize that it has one. However, if you go to the side of your MVS workstation, you'll notice there's a bracket holding the foot switch on the side. Simply unloop it, pull it out, flip the cover open, grab the green end, bring it back over to your IAS, line the red dot up with the top of the plug, and simply plug it in. And it's got the same 3 buttons as on your X-ray controller. The left button for your standard fluoro exposure, the middle button for 2D and 3D, and the right button will do all your save image functions. Used this way, it can help you get through the rest of the case until you can get a new hand switch for future use.
And the number 1 problem users may experience with their O-Arm is the door being stuck in the closed position.
So what do you do when your O-Arm door is stuck in the closed position? Most people's first instinct is to go to the MVS, grab the socket wrench out, and start manually cranking the door open. But a far better solution is to use the system's emergency door override button. This feature will allow you to open the door under the system's own power. It's much faster, and you're much less likely to damage anything on the system. Here's how it works. First, you need to press the emergency door override button. Then, on the pendant, you're going to want to push the door closed button. The system is repurposing this button for the opening of the door because it's assuming that the door open button is no longer functioning the way it's supposed to. It's much faster than manually cranking the door open, and far less likely to damage any components. You've tried the emergency door override button, the doors are not opening, and your O-Arm doors are still stuck in the closed position. What do? You need to go to the MVS, retrieve your rotor alignment tool and your socket wrench, and then you can come over to the other side here, and we can use these portholes to access the mechanics that we need to get this door open. They're all covered with these black protective caps. Step number 1 is going to be removing these caps so you can gain access to the cavity inside. Once here, you notice we have a few different places we can put tools into. Number 1, this is your rotor alignment hole. This is very important The door cannot be manually opened if the rotor is not in its home position, and that's what this tool is for. You're going to depress the button on the back to open the bearings and stick it right in the hole. If it doesn't go in, that means the door is not ready to be manually opened. You need to look inside, and you're going to see a green or an orange color. That tells you which direction you need to move the rotor before you can open the door. If you go down here, you see we have an icon of arrows going around the rotor. This means that this is going to move the rotor. There's also a green and an orange arrow. Whatever color you see in this hole up here tells you which direction you need to move the rotor. In this case, it's green, so we need to crank in this direction. What we're going to be doing is looking for the hole to show up as we move the rotor around. Once you see the hole, we're going to use our rotor alignment tool again to see if we're actually in the home position. Almost. There we go. The rotor is now in the home position as confirmed by the pin. Next step, we remove this. We're going to take our socket wrench and go to the number 2 hole. You can see the icon here indicates that this is the control for the door, and this will cause us to open it up if we rotate in this direction. Same socket size, plug it in, and slowly start cranking, and your doors will break apart and then eventually start rolling up and over the O. It's going to take a lot of cranks, so you want to stay persistent with it. Pay attention to what you're doing, go nice and steady, and eventually you'll have your door totally open.
And those are the top 4 most common problems people experience with their O-Arm systems. If you're experiencing these or any other problems with your O-Arm system, call Block Imaging and make sure to subscribe to our channel. Thanks for watching.